It's time for business. Thank you so much for joining us. And Daryl is here looking all sharp and ready. Daryl, when you were back in school, what kind of, sports did you like? Football, running?
Taekwondo.
Hey, bro.
Did you expect this one?
I think when they say, I like doing the 200 meters.
Yeah, Taekwondo.
Taekwondo, how good were you? Like, would you have gone to Olympics?
I've never tried it in my life.
Now it's time for business.
All right, good to see you, Najili. Well, we're going to be talking about the $1 billion special drawing rights that our government has access to from the IMF and where to spend it. The former finance minister has a word on that. Also, we'll be talking about the graphic business stomach breakfast meeting where the media has been urged to support government in the COVID-19 economic recovery process. Plus, we'll talk some other news. The president is in Germany. We'll tell you what he's been saying right after this. Welcome to Talking Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Great to be with you this morning. We are live across our social media platforms at Joy Prime TV, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So we begin with the $1 billion fund that our government has access to. Courtesy the IMF is a special drawing right for member states. And former Finance Minister Seth Terkper has issues with how the money is going to be spent, and he's calling for government to follow due processes so that they are held accountable once we have access to that money now. He has been speaking to my colleague Charles Nixon here. Well, let's hear what he had to say.
Once resources flow to the country, there's a constitutional and a legal context.
And what are the constitutional and legal contexts?
The constitutional and legal context is that any revenue that is accruing to the state must be paid into the consolidated fund, which consolidated fund is part of the public accounts for the state, for government. The Ministry of Finance is in charge of the consolidated, fund. And so I'm tracing the flow. The flow is must come into the consolidated fund. And that's the only way it must come into the country. Now, any monies that go into the consolidated fund without Parliament giving earlier, way in which it must be spent, can only be appropriated by Parliament under our Constitution and the Public Financial Management Act. This is similar. So if you look at IMF programs that we have done in the past, of course, Parliament is notified about the program, and then the resources come into the country.
All right, that was the former finance minister there, Seth Terkper. Let's attend to the graphic business Stanbic Bank breakfast meeting, which was held yesterday, Tuesday, with the support of Joy Business, where Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah has been tasking the media to help government in the COVID-19 economic recovery process. What can the media do? Well, here's more in this report.
To the Information Minister, Kojo Nkrumah, the pandemic has brought some level of challenge on media and marketing, hence the need for practitioners to get involved in convincing professionals and businesses on the positive happenings in the economy. The minister was speaking under the theme, Media and Marketing Communications Post-COVID-19, a catalyst for Africa's socio-economic resurgence. According to him, the 33,000, which includes engineers, lawyers, and accountants, do not pay taxes but want everything in the country to be fixed.
You have to convince the very person who refuses to wear masks that the economy needs to be reopened so he doesn't go hungry. And that you cannot even lock up everybody who does not wear a mask. And you need the help of the media and marketing communications to succeed at that. You have to convince the 33,000 engineers, lawyers, accountants, and other professionals who are not paying tax, according to the Ghana Revenue Authority, yet are asking for everything to be fixed, that they have to pay their due if we are to rake in the 10% of GDP and lower our borrowing. And you need the help of the marketing communications professionals and the media to succeed at that. You have to convince a Ghanaian businessman who is looking forward to tapping into the Africa continental free trade opportunities that we have to explore Zoom calls and other non-personal trade mechanisms because we just cannot do business as usual. These efforts are not easy.
Meanwhile, commenting on the theme, outgoing president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Alfred Mone, stressed the need for business and economic journalists to take up the challenge of projecting economic growth for the country.
Between well-researched, well-presented business and economic news and the country's economic upswing. So this reinforces the need for the Ghanaian media, the need for all key players to make a conscious effort to move the paradigm from the obsessive and compulsive politics which has enveloped this country to specialization, especially on business and financial journalism, since it holds the key to picking us up from this pickle caused by COVID-19.
Other members on the panel have also charged the media to find diverse ways of disseminating information in the midst of the pandemic.
All right, let's take a trip to Germany, shall we? That's where the president is trying to court investors. He has been speaking about the conducive business environment here for investments and good returns as well. Take a listen.
We in Ghana are encouraged by the fact that more German companies than ever are looking to invest in Ghana, symbolized by the opening of representations of the German industry giant ThyssenKrupp and the German logistics global player Kuhn & Nagel in the country, and the establishment of the Volkswagen assembly plant in Ghana. We will continue to create and maintain the conducive investment environment that not only guarantees the safety of investments, but good returns as well. We'll continue to protect legitimate investments and preserve the atmosphere of peace, stability, and security that has been an important contributor to the increasing presence of German businesses in Ghana. We'll witness through the ballot box 3 peaceful transfers of power from one political party to another in the 28-year period of the Fourth Republic. We're a country where the principles of democratic accountability and respect for the rule of law, individual liberties, and human rights are now firmly entrenched in our body politic, and where the separation of powers is real in promoting accountable governance. I'm currently in my second and final term as President of the Republic, and over the last 4 years, my government has done a lot of work in correcting the fundamentals of the economy, which were all pointing in the wrong direction when I took office in 2017. We have, over the period, put in place measures needed to reduce the cost of doing business, improve the business environment, and made the Ghanaian economy not only one of the most business-friendly economies in Africa, but also one of the fastest-growing economies in the world.
That was the president in Germany. Hopefully, the investors will bring us money so we can develop our economy here in Ghana. And that's the Talking Business this morning. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Keep following us on social media at Joy Prime TV. Up next is Beyond the Headlines with Daniel Dazi. It's been weeks after the Ejura probe following the death of Kaka. We're hearing nothing. What's happening? The family is here to talk about that. That's on Beyond the Headlines. Don't go anywhere.